My fiancé disappeared 2 days before our wedding. I thought he got cold feet, until I learned he'd been kidnapped because of my family. 2 days before our wedding, my fiancé vanished without a trace. No goodbye, no note. His phone went straight to voicemail, and his car remained outside our apartment. Everyone assumed he'd gotten cold feet. I refused to believe it. Ethan wasn't the type to disappear. After a month, the investigation went cold, and my family urged me to move on. My father even said, "Sometimes people aren't who we think they are." 3 months later, while packing Ethan's things, I found a hidden folder beneath a loose floorboard. Inside were property records, old newspaper articles, and a handwritten note. "If anything happens to me, don't trust your parents, especially your father." The documents showed my grandfather's land had been transferred through suspicious deals. Every trail led back to my father. One newspaper article described an accountant who disappeared while investigating the same land transfers. Ethan had written beneath it, "He worked for your grandfather." I confronted my father. He looked at the papers, laughed, and quietly locked the front door. "Ethan should have stopped digging. What did you do?" I warned him. My mother burst into tears. My father admitted Ethan had uncovered forged inheritance documents created while my grandfather suffered from dementia. Millions had been stolen, and anyone who investigated was silenced. I called the police, but they found no evidence. Weeks later, I received a prepaid phone. It rang immediately. "I'm still alive, Emma." It was Ethan. Before I could respond, he whispered, "They're listening." The call ended. Police traced it to an abandoned warehouse where they found blankets, food wrappers, and restraints. Federal investigators soon uncovered a criminal network that had spent decades stealing family inheritances through fraud and intimidation. My father was one of its leaders. A suspect later confessed the kidnappers never intended to kill Ethan. They planned to hide him until after our wedding, because my marriage would permanently secure my father's control over the estate. Ethan discovered the truth and tried to warn me before they abducted him. He eventually escaped and entered witness protection, while authorities dismantled the organization. Almost a year later, I saw him again in federal court. Older, thinner, and carrying a scar across his cheek. His testimony destroyed the entire network. My father received multiple life sentences. After the trial, Ethan handed me a new engagement ring. "This time," he smiled, "let's make sure your family isn't invited." We married in a quiet ceremony by the ocean. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if Ethan hadn't disappeared. Then I realize I would have walked down the aisle smiling, never knowing the people giving me away were the ones who nearly destroyed our lives.